We're making a sunglass or glass clip for my visor, and I think this is probably the total of the 5th print. Kind of hard to see. Plan on making quite a few of them. I'm gonna donate these to people. I'm still learning this, getting the settings. Man, this is, tell you what, this is the Ender 5 Plus. Boy, it took me a minute. Almost used that whole row filament there, just getting things dialed in. I'm still learning though. You got a long ways to go to get like super good at it. But I adjusted this one down. The width of it, I adjusted all the way down to I think 40%, because it was just too long. It was too long this way. Everything else seemed to be okay. Well, I think I actually raised the Z up 20%, I think, or 10 or 20. But the main thing was the width. It was just so long, you know. It was too short to put 2 sunglasses on there, but way too long for just one pair. And I would be doing this live, but I guess you got to run so many videos before you can start doing live on your phone. So we'll see. I'm just getting started in this. There's a lot of people doing 3D videos and stuff on here, so I'm learning. I'm watching a bunch of their videos. My settings right now, I got it at 220 and 80 on PLA, but I've got a steel 6mm 0.6 steel tip on there on my hot end, because I've got that on there because I've got some carbon fiber filament I'm going to use. And you know, as long as I was running that at 200, what I was running with my copper tip, but with the metal one, the steel tip, I'm thinking it cools off. The very tip part cools down faster than the copper or brass. I guess it was brass, not copper, but the brass fitting. So I raised it up to 220, and it's been doing good. And on this one, I've got the glass part, the smooth part up, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because see, you can see the 1, 2, 3. The other side is a rough part, and I tried using that because I thought, because it's got that sticker on it, the sticker's upside down there, but the sticker's on the other side, and when it's flipped over, you can't see these. They're all around, and that's what I'm assuming that's what the laser thing pinpoints. Maybe, I'm not really sure, but you can't see them. And on the other side, no matter how many times I washed it, and I even would spray hairspray on there, it didn't stick very well. But now with this one, when I got it, the board adjusted. You can't say level, because level is level. It's adjusted to this. So I've got all the corners adjusted to the same height within 0.0. It was like, I like there, when you check the lines, it'll be like 0.003 or 0.03. This one might be 0.035. This one over here might be 0.031, 0.033, something like that. But I've got it like super dialed in, I think. But with this side, before I started this one, took and run some hot water in the kitchen sink and took this in there where I run some dish soap, right? And then I put it in there and I run hot water, took my rag and I washed off both sides. So then I took and I washed my hands real good to get, because it takes a minute for your hands to build oil back up on them from your natural oil on your skin. But after you wash your hands, it takes a minute for that to start coming back. So I took and washed my hands real good in that soap, and then pulled it out, and then got some napkins and dried off this side, the flat glass side. The other side's got little like divots in it, so I don't think that's supposed to be the side you print on. So when I come back in here and see, I done the same thing, but I printed my bed, it was at 50, but it seemed to stick, but then it would gradually want to start to peel off. And I do it at 70 and it do the same thing. But I think in the settings in the Cura, there's a setting to say board temp, and the I don't know if you call factory settings or whatever, was at 28 degrees Celsius, and that means that the room temperature, got a little side note, if you click on it, it says the room temperature should be at that, and that means your room needs to be 80 something degrees. So I set that at 0. Now this is the first time I set that at 0, and so far I don't see anything coming up at all. And now, granted, this is a little bit shorter. I guess you'd say shorter, closer. This way is closer together. So, anyhow, this is what my YouTube video and stuff is going to be mainly about now, because I want to get this, and I want to get to where I have a pretty good channel. Maybe I'll get some subscribers that'll want to watch this, and I'll have to figure out how I can do live. Maybe I'll have to do my cam on my computer, but then I'd have to set my computer up to where the camera would sit away to where you could see this. But the Ender 5, I run, a lot of people don't run. Now I've changed and put the blue Bowden tube on. It's the Capricorn right there. And I've changed that. I didn't care whether it was the red one or just the silver one. It's the metal one. I don't think the color really matters. It's just whatever one you can get at the better price at the time. A lot of people is just getting the red one, but there's really I don't think there's any difference. But this one, the red one doesn't say Creality on it, and this one, let me see if I can get up close enough. Let me see if you can tell that. See that? It says, you can see it right there. It says Creality. So that's apparently the Creality one. The red one doesn't have Creality on it. So a lot of people aren't keeping their Bowden tube in there. But if you when you run it up, if you run it down with a line, and then all this connects, you can put your blue tube in there, because it's all staying together. As long as your blue Capricorn tube is long enough to reach the furthest distance, which mine is, then it's fine, and it makes it look better. See, you see all these little holes. I've got more of that stuff right there, but I'm gonna replace that. Now all this was where I tried these wires in different settings, because I wasn't exactly sure. Let me come over here and see this. If you wanted to take this sticker off, you could take that sticker off, but I run out of zip ties, because it gives you a pack of like maybe 10 zip ties or something, but I run out, so I'm using trash bag ties. because I was still trying to figure out, but I pretty much got it set. So I'll be getting some more zip ties and maybe some black tape, but I wanted it to stick up like this because it makes it look a lot more professional and neat. There was these, I can clean all these up by electrical taping them to where it's all, and then this will be run together, and that way I didn't have a big enough tube for all this. And if you can hear it, these don't come with the quiet board, they come with the loud board. Now if you had it in a place, there was a few times when I was making a I don't have it in here, but I was making parts for a motorcycle helmet stand, and it was making zzz, zzz, making a lot of noise, but there was a couple times when it'd be going around in circles and it almost sounded like music. I don't know, kind of weird, but my girlfriend didn't like that, so I had to change it. Anyway, I don't know, I think I spent $80 on the board. Let's see, and my room temperature is whatever. Let's see, we're at, well, 28, it's 28 degrees Celsius. Well, that's 74 degrees. So we're about at that room temperature, but I just went ahead and set that one at 0. So I don't want this video to be super long, but hey, I've made a few things. I've made that helmet stand, which it probably could have turned out a little bit better because I was still in the part of adjusting my board, and I've got the auto leveling turned off because when I use that, it seems like it keeps dropping the board too far. And another thing, with my glass board, when I've got it like this, in the very center it dips down just a little bit, and when I got it flipped over and I check it when I'm manually checking the level, or the height, not level, because level is where it's level, so the actual height, checking the height, when it's turned over, the height, it goes up because it gets so tight right there when it's fine at the paper measurement, the 2mm measurement on the side. So I kind of wanted to stay. Maybe I'll stay. It's almost done. Oh, we only got 50%. So let me pause this for just a little bit so that the video doesn't go on forever. But hey,